Just a second. All right, let's get this ball rolling. Okay, so a couple updates. One, I read up on cat food because the cat, the stray that we have, is looking a little thin, and I thought, okay, well, it it may be running out of mice, may be doing its job really well, and we want to keep the that stray cat around because we otherwise we would have a mouse problem. And so we've been feeding it milk and some of our table scraps. And then I read this article and it said, never do that because it's toxic and poisonous and will give it all sorts of stomach problems. It's just terrible bad. Don't ever do it. So I bought some cat food and just bought some dry cat food and added warm water to it, like it suggested on the website. And cat took 2 bites of it and said, "This is not for me." So I'm wondering if maybe that article is a little wrong, because I think this cat might be evolutionarily adapted for hot dogs and milk, because it seemed to like those just fine. Or it's possible that it ate at a neighbor's house, or that it did just catch a mouse. But she's looking a little thin. Anyway, so back onto this. What I am working on is I just updated the database, or created new tables in the database with the structure that I expect, based on having multiple wallets, meaning wallet phrases that turn into seeds that then turn into accounts, and then multiple accounts. So in order to identify a payment, we need to know the customer that's going to give us the account index, and the customer needs to be tied to a wallet so that if we have multiple wallets, we can distinguish it's this HD path for this wallet as opposed to an HD path for this other wallet. Because I actually wasn't thinking about that at first in the other wallet tool I was working on, and the caching was all busted because it would look up by HD path. But if you had a wallet for a contact and then you added a wallet to replace that wallet, then the previous money was not immediately accessible because it was indexed on a different XPub. So anytime you use XPubs or XPrivs, or separate ones or replacement ones, there needs to be some sort of ID. And I think we need to do the same thing. Actually, that I need to update that dip, because we need to do the same thing with XPubs. Now, I think that XPubs have a fingerprint baked in, but I think that it's the fingerprint of the parent. Let me go look that up real quick, because that actually is important. I'm glad that I was talking about that. How are y'all doing? I see there's a few of you joining in. Welcome. Okay. I think this is the one we need to look at. And I just want to look at the fingerprint real quick, because I think that the fingerprint is non-zero parent fingerprint. Yeah, it's a parent fingerprint. Key identifiers. First 32 bits of the identifier are called the fingerprint. Okay. First 32 bits. Key identifiers. So there's a of the identifier are called the fingerprint. Fingerprint of the parent key. Child number. Chain code, public key. Okay, key identifiers. Key tree. Okay. Extended keys can be identified by the hash 160 RIPEMD The serialized public key K ignoring the chain code. Responds exactly to the data used in traditional addresses. Yes. Okay, cool. So I'll just update the dip to reference this as well. And the reason that I don't want to stick with the ripe MD160 SHA-256, again, I don't know why this was ever done, but SHA-256 is not vulnerable to the single hash attacks because this was created after that. I believe that the ripe MD160, well, is the MD5, MD4 or MD5? I'm not sure what. I think this is based on MD5. I'm not sure which MD this is based on. But anyway, this one may have been, this one I believe was part of the family of hashes that was vulnerable to the single hash attack, which is why there's a lot of double hashing, but there's no need to double hash a SHA-256 because it is not vulnerable to that, and RipeMD is known to be weaker than SHA-256. So you would not want to use a weaker hash on a stronger hash because the result would be that you only have the strength of the weakest link in the chain, which would have been the MD hash. So you lose the strength of the SHA-256 hash to the RipeMD. Now, for an identifier, I don't think that matters as much. I'm sure there's ways that you could adversarially, whatever. But generally speaking, your let's see. When you're in your software, I guess if somebody knew other details of things in your wallet. Okay, this is why this is actually a bad idea. This one right here. There's 32 bits. I think this should be redone. I think it should just be the SHA-256, and it should be 64 bits. 32 bits is too small. Collisions are too likely. So, yeah. Interesting. So maybe paying for Restream actually did nothing, because now I'm dropping frames again. Although it looks like that was just a dip. Okay. But not the dip like the kind of dip we're talking about here. So let me go back to the dips. Let's see. Fingerprints. Okay. Likewise, in a multi-XPub system, so I need to put this in here too. What was this one called? Whoops. Okay. Okay, a method for creating wallet IDs. Okay. Previously, uh, A2-bit XPub key identifiers not suitable. Um, Oops, I forgot the not here. In a single wallet application, oh, is sufficient for identifying contacts. However, in a multi-wallet systems, so in multi-wallet and multi-phases, or XPubs from multiple contacts, there must be deterministic ID IDs to associate the root wallet or XPub to which the HD path should be applied. There we go. Okay. Motivation. Wallet and XPub. Similarly, as mentioned in the 32-bit key identifiers are prone to collision, and ripe MD160 is vulnerable in particular is vulnerable to collision attacks. Also, it has been deprecated due to it's been found weak and deprecated from and removed from popular crypto, removed from or never added to popular crypto libraries such as Web Crypto and libSSL3. Now, let's go look at this again because I'm wondering. Key identifiers. All right, serialization format. 4 bytes. This is no good. This is no good. Fingerprint of the parent's key. I think we ought to just SHA-SUM the whole thing. Yeah. Because that eliminates... yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not sufficient to use the public key. I don't think either. I think that the whole thing, the whole serialized... Well, there's the question. Is it the serialized version or is it the base? Do we decode it first? Let's see. Do we decode it first? That's really the question. Do we want the raw bytes or do we want it encoded with the XPub prefix? For wallets, for XPubs and XPrivs. So seed bytes. Okay. .64 bytes. Ooh, the question there actually becomes, would that be Big Indian? I think, right? Crockford base 3632. hexadecimal. Okay. 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 From base 58 check. Raw bytes. I don't know if I like that one or not. Yeah, okay. If XPriv produce the corresponding XPub bytes. Okay. Okay. Well, so much for the idea that paying for Restream was gonna make my streams better. Yeah, I'm losing 30% of my frames. Yeah, I guess I just need to get off of it. I need to get to Outcast. Win Outcast, Jojo. Win Outcast. Hexadecimal, not hexy. Oh, so embarrassing. Let's see. Okay. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to update this to deal with the XPubs as well because we end up with the same problem. Or XPub. 32 bits, not wide enough. RipeMD, not secure enough. Oh, and I spelled pseudo wrong. I do that all the time. Let me see if I can get a pseudo code. Pseudo pseudo code. All right. We're going to also try X key to ID. X key. Okay, so I'm going to need a better way to serialize that. Let's see if I already have it. I don't think that I do. I think that was something I wasn't sure whether or not I need, and I don't think I did it. Oh no, I got HD to X bytes. Ooh. Oh, so this would not include the version or the checksum. Right? Encode key. Encode XPub. All right, so this actually goes a little bit against what I was thinking. So this is not from version to checksum. Instead, it is from Oh, that's wrong. Kind of. Okay, 2x bytes, HD key. Oh, 2xpub bytes. Cool. So HD key. Wait. So maybe what we need is actually a bytes to ID. Let ID. ID bytes equals. XPub bytes. Is that really it? All right, then we just need to change this to bytes. Change this to bytes. And there we have our thing. All right, and there's our XPub for the Zoomonic primary account. Okay, ID buffer, hash buffer. All right, well, there we go with the dip. We can update that now. Wallet seed hash. It would be good to add the example of the XPub, I suppose. Let's see if I can do that real quick. All right, that's going to take forever. Okay, let's see. And we should actually repeat this for both the XPub and the XProv. Where did I put that other file anyway? It's probably on temp. XPub ID. No, XPub ID. Hmm. Hmm. see here. So what am I doing? Where did I put my... Put my bytes to ID. Okay, wherever... I kind of feel dumb now. Should have kept that file around. I should just commit that to the dips. Oh, that's right here. Uh, bytes to hex, bytes to base 64 URL, hex to bytes. And then I need to find a good Crockford base 32. I don't know what I typically use in my projects for that. I'm just going to pull one that doesn't look malicious. If I can find one that doesn't look malicious. It's hard to do these days in the JavaScript world. I really don't care about multiple variants. I only care about the important one. I think there might have been a noble. Oh, 8 years ago. That looks really good. Whenever you see something that's ridiculously old, that's a good sign. It's a very good sign. This one looks like it does too many things. Ah, but this is our good friend Paul Miller, so this is noble. I wonder why he's not putting this under noble crypto. Okay. This one has no readme. I don't like that. Well, this one claims to be audited. It does use, admittedly, terrible code style, but it says it's audited and it's zero dependency, so That might be good enough for me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the Nibble Crypto guy. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. I'll go with it. It seems a little bloated, but how many lines of code are we looking at? Okay, still under 1,000. Oops. Right. Okay. Is this encode? Okay. All right. And this does look like it uses bytes, so that's good. Okay, I don't need that anymore. Let's go back to where I was doing the dip. Okay, now we still have this one. No. Okay, so. Oops, not what I wanted. Dash HD, not dash D. Keyword seed, xpub, xpriv, hd key, hd key, x key, x key. Okay. So let's finish this up if we can. All right, here's the bytes to ID function. Base 32 Crockford encode. There we go. And then these should be, of course, the same. Boom. Oh, whoops. And again, I was being careless about the distinction between console log and console info. But now that's correct, and we have our... I really do think that YouTube should stop putting thumbnails of me picking my nose. I have to pick my nose. There's nothing I can do about it. I have one of those noses that just constantly generates too much mucus in a dry environment. And it gets stuffy and itchy, and yeah, it's just rough. It's a rough life. Whoa. Nope, not that one. There we go. 64-bit int. Hex. Crockford. Base 64. Doot. Doot, doot, doot. I kind of like the look of that. I like everything that looks like an email address. Ah. Okay, so let's go back to wherever. Let's see if I can just find my dip. There you go. Didn't I just do the that? Yeah. All right, let's see here. Okay. Wallet. HD key. XPub. AKA X key. AKA XPub. All right. Oh, did I have the hexa in the wrong with the wrong name here? Let's do this. Hexa. Nope. Okay, good. All right. That's all good. It's all good. All right, let's get this. When I dip, you dip, we dip. Can I use the word embeddability? No one's going to shoot me if I do, right? Embeddability. Spell. Okay, it's a word. Spell base 64. How could that not be in the dictionary? Base 32. Base 58. SHA 256 is SHA in general. Okay. wallet to ID, X key to ID, and then bytes to ID. Oops. Okay, let's do a little diff on this. Bytes to ID, yeah. Oh, whoops. That's one thing that needs to get fixed here before I publish this. See, nope, not there. I still need to name what are the parts here. That is key size, including the data view. We got it. Including depth, parent fingerprint, index. Now this may be wrong because it may be that the version, I'm not sure if the version is supposed to come here or not. This could be wrong. Hmm. Index, chain code. C and key. Okay. Yeah, I am concerned if we go back to, where is it? Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Need that right now. Hold on. Which? Where's the dip at? Okay, here we are. So if I look at this, base 58 check. Version bytes. Serialization format. Depth, child number, chain code, public key. So we have a small problem that will need correction. All right, so we have a problem. Minor problem. And that problem is that dash HD bug 2 XPub bytes omits version. C Let me just double check this. XPub part? Ah. Okay, so let me go grab this real quick and just fix that. Huh, that's weird. The key bytes. Private. Version. There we go. That's weird. What? What after party? What after party are we talking about? Did something happen today? You know that I'm not actually part of the Dash community, right? Like I'm lone wolf. I'm out here on the live streams. I have no idea what's going on. I'm too busy pretending to get work done to join in on parties. Okay. The secret one, coincidentally, always after Dash Digital News. I mean, Dash Cash Network. Digital Cash Network? Digital Dash. But see, do you think I know about that? Okay. Fix. Here's atomic commits for you. Use public. There we go. Allow. Okay, here we go. There's a bug that 2xpub bytes would output the version as xpriv rather than xpub. This fixes that. It also allows custom version bytes. Oh, yeah, both of these need to get in. Let's see here. Dash devs. Where did what's his bucket go? Dash devs. Jojo, can I get a quick review on these two? Both are passing tests. One fixes an important bug. Okay. Discovered when creating, and then this is where we bring back up that dip again. Whereas when I dip, you dip, we dip. Okay, so let's say that we create a version. And then he contacted me somewhere. What? CD installed. I'm going to approve that. Will you squash this with the message fix ffmpeg dot dot dot. Oops. And change pick to S for Oops. That's not the way I wanted it to go. Maybe I try this? I don't know if that works. Let's see if that works. Meh. Okay, I need to get that taken care of. Cool. All right. Got a review on this. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. All right, so hopefully we can get both those in and I can get this pushed with the version bump. Uh, okay, sorry. I got caught up in that bug and then I stopped checking the chat because I realized there was a bug and that caught 100% of my attention. Bunch of simpletons. Bunch of simps. Wait, is simp the same as simpleton or is simp Diffner? It merely lasted 4 hours this time. Dang. That seems terrible. Okay, come on. Update. Apparently my phone hasn't received an important security update. Go. Whoa, no, what? iOS security response. Yeah. All right, let's see. I'm nowadays if iOS has a critical security update, then that means that macOS has the same critical security update. Okay. So there's a critical security update in macOS. What is it? Is it actually going to tell me? No, of course it's not going to tell me what it is. It's just telling me that it is a rapid security response that needs to be installed soon. It's going to require a restart. Okay. So let me see if I can get this out of the way and then just publish the new version. It looks like I got approvals on both of these. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to first bring this one in because I think that that's critically important. And okay, npm run bump patch. That's the appropriate thing here. So yeah, no big deal there. And then I'm going to switch to main. I'm going to rebase fix xpub bytes. I'm going to push git push tags and npm publish. And then I'm probably going to have to put in my security key. Pro tip, by the way, don't ever click the remember my security key button, because then it will ask you instead for a different form of two-factor authentication that is not as simple as a button press. All right, git switch fix xpub bytes, git push -f, git switch main, git push. Oh, right, because there's that one too. All right, git switch. And then what was this other one? I actually do want this to go live. It worries me ever so slightly, but all the tests are passing. So I am going to... we're going to rebase from main. And then we're going to npm run bump patch. And I'm going to call this a minor because there is an important refactor that happens here. In that we use the associative nature of the public key. Wait, do I hear my voice? Whoa, I'm on stream with myself. Let me figure out where that is. Oh, it's right here. I got rid of that one. Oh, wow. Okay. So with all that, git push, blah, 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 blah. Oops. Yep, same thing. We'll go ahead and open that up. Use security key. Press the button. It's all done. Close the tab. Hunky dory. Thank you, ma'am. All right. And then, he sent me something. Dash keys. While I'm here, I need to go ahead and update this as well. Let's take a look at files changed. Literally nothing. Just okay. There are literally no changes other than the version bump. I can republish now if that's all it needs. All right, so that was another. I'm just going to dash keys here, clone this. Dash keys. Tag, looks like the tag's there. All right. Get rebase. Fix. Ah! Oh, you did publish it. Okay, let's see what the fix was. Oh, type def. Yeah, okay. All right, cool, cool. Cool, cool. Oh. All right, let's see. Did he give me any comments on this here? Okay. Let's see in the PR thread. Cool beans. Okay, let's see here. Do not use provides an alternate HD key ID as actually recommends not using their 30-bit solution for these types of scenarios, and we know RIPE-MD 160 is weak. All right. Simp is a relatively new word. Indeed it is. Okay, so I still, with this, did not get around to the URL. But, all right, we've got the new version of Dash HD. Do we need to update Dash HD to use the new dash keys? Okay, informational. You've updated your phone. Great. Doesn't look like anything's being done there. Missed a butt dial, it looks like. Okay. All right. Yeah, see, this is kind of this is how organic work is. And this is one of the things where the way that the Dash Incubator is structured, if you were to look at the work I've done over the last 2 hours, this is very natural, right? But in organic and good, because I realized, oh, I actually need an identifier for the XPub. Let me go update the documentation, the spec doc for that XPub stuff. Okay. Oh, actually, there's a bug in the thing that produces the bytes that need to be used in order to do to follow the spec that was just created. Okay. Oh, and actually, there's another thing that has a bug in it too. We need to publish that. So there's all this stuff that happened. Install, save. But how would we split that out into various tasks? It's 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 rough because this is organic work. It's not mechanical work. It's I am in the course of the work. Now, and I've got the I don't know. There's it all works out. But I basically did three or four different things here in terms of I worked on a spec task. I worked on a bug fix. I'm I'm getting around to the thing that I was actually supposed to be doing. Is there isn't there a bug bounty program that isn't receiving any funding anymore? The problem with I think that there is or was a bug bounty program, but it would have been ridiculous to use because bug bounties are typically way too low, and they don't actually incentivize anybody to fix them because you have to onboard somebody. You really bug bounties are a dumb idea in general. They're a dumb idea. They're not practical because you in order to take on a bug bounty, you have to take away from someone else's time to have them train you on the project. As a marketing campaign, when you've got lots of money and lots of resources and you're not tight on deadlines, a bug bounty program is great. But in terms of open source projects, bug bounty programs are terrible because it's giving somebody nothing and then detracting them away from somebody who's got more important work to do, or detracting someone who is being a nuisance to somebody that has more important work to do. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know. But the problem in Dash is that you fix a bug and then maybe 6 months later, the fix gets pulled in. So I have several PRs open right now for actual bugs in Dash Core Lib and for security enhancements in Dash D RPC, and they're just sitting there. And every once in a while, every couple of days, I ping a few people about them, but they're just sitting there. Now, the ones that are the security enhancements, they're not that big of a deal because there's no downfall, and one of them's a performance enhancement. There's no downfall per se, other than supply chain security is kind of important these days. Uh, well, it's just removing dependencies in favor of using Node's native capabilities because the code was written many, 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 many years ago before there was promises, before there was other capabilities that were being used, and so the PRs, and also there is a style guide in the code, but it's not followed. There is a JS hint or JS hint, and I think a prettier or an editor config or something. There's something in there, but it's not actually being followed, and so people need to use automated tooling. Some people don't like to do it. I don't understand why. Jojo actually doesn't like automated tooling. But I think this is ridiculous because there's not enough time in life to bicker and argue about whether it's two or four spaces. Like, put it in the editor config, be done with it. Screw you. You like 4 spaces, screw you. You like 3 spaces, flip and go to the really, really hot place. You deserve to die. There's not room on planet Earth for people that prefer 3 spaces. There's not. There are no such people. But that would just be evil. And if you prefer 8 spaces, you also just go take a long walk off a short pier. Mm. Let's see. Oh. Okay. All right. So I'm done with this one again. For the time being, I'm going to close that out. And then I'm back to this one. And I don't know how much energy I got left. It's 12:24. I don't think I've got it. Sorry, I don't think I'm going to finish this tonight. I also need to add the ID function. Okay. We'll see if we can whip a little bit. I need to get to bed pretty soon. I've got a big day ahead of me tomorrow. I have to get up a little earlier than usual. Dang it. Okay, let's see. First of all, I'm gonna have to start the wallet lib. So one of the things that we're gonna need to do, and maybe, I don't know, maybe we actually, nah, I don't really want to do that. Let's see, wallet ID. Part of me wants to say that we change the wallet ID spec so that rather than taking the ID of the seed, we take the ID of the first HD key. And that actually simplifies things a little bit. It makes it more difficult to get the ID. Okay, I'm going to put this in as a consideration. Okay. Consideration. We only create IDs from HD keys. So the wallet ID is simply the root HD key that's created from the seed. M/. To simplify this further, since the applications that use this will have bidirectional contacts anyway, this probably won't introduce any meaning you wouldn't need a wallet ID, likely have an application that only needs a wallet ID from seed without also needing XPub IDs. Okay. Okay, so that's a possible simplification. I think I actually want to go with this. And then we would add a toID function into -hd. Okay, let's see here. Bless me. Okay, we don't need that. I think I'm going to draft this up real quick. Oh, whoops. Ha! This is duplicate. It's come up twice now. Oh. Closing is duplicate. I think that was already taken care of. Okay. Looking over here. No Mountain Dew today. It's empty, my friend. It's empty. I already had 2 in the morning, so I'm kind of messed up, you know? You heard some CO2 escaping. That may have been the air conditioner, because now that it's nighttime, it doesn't have to run full force. So it can go. It was a concept, it passed, and no one cared to fulfill it. Yeah, bug bounties are a dumb idea. It's just, there needs to be a mix of idealists, but also businessmen in communities like this. People that actually understand how to make money. And then there also needs to be some mix of people that understand economies, because I think that there's 3 different skill sets there, and the people need to be talking to each other. The people that have these idealistic visions, they need to be able to listen to wisdom and experience. The people who have the experience and the wisdom need to have their boundaries pushed so that they could be open to some new ideas and consider things from a different perspective. But you don't create a solution and then go find a problem that it solves. You identify a problem and then you create a solution for it. Figured the VPN was less important. Figured the VPN was less important than what? I missed what that was related to. Make things that people are willing to spend money on. Yeah. Thanks for making it happen. I love hearing you talk about rebranding dash privacy. Hey, you are welcome. What thing did I just make happen? But yes, the rebranding dash privacy bit. Hey Josh, if you in one of the recent videos, I think it was either today or yesterday, I went on a spiel about that for a little bit, and I think we need to have that clip, and we need to circulate that a little bit more within the Dash community, because that's something that people need to understand. That is what I would say the 2 most important things that need to happen are that we need to move to 3 decimal places. I'm sympathetic to the idea of M dash, which essentially does the same thing. It essentially moves us into fewer decimal places. The problem being, I don't, I, I think that we would be better off to inflate dash than to use M dash, because there's so much legacy code that requires the decimal places, and I think we need to work through that first. And I don't think that the branding of M dash will work out well. I think we have to stick with dash. So I think the most important thing that we need to do is to move to 2 or 3 decimal places. And I'm actually okay with 2 decimal places, especially if dash stays $200 and below. I think that's fine. If I don't know, it's kind of hard. It's nice to have a sub dollar, but we don't need a sub dime. No one cares about pennies. People that care about pennies don't understand the value of their time, or they're doing aggressive micro trading or something, in which case that we just need to kick them out because they're going to ruin what we're trying to do. So the kind of people that do care about pennies are either really, really bad at managing their time, or they are malignant tumors in the community, essentially. Someone make an argument for somebody that cares about pennies that isn't those two, but yeah, we to not have, we certainly need to not care about sub pennies. Rebranding Dash Direct. But without pennies, how can we price things $9.99? So it's funny that you asked that question. No, you don't. Have you ever been to a gas station in America? Gas stations in America price things in fractions of a penny. If you want to price things in fractions of a penny, that's fine. But when you actually go to charge it, it actually, it charges, yes, it charges at the $10. And so that's the other thing, is if somebody prices something at 9.999, then when it actually sends the payment, it would literally just send 10, because it would, yeah, it's fine. It's fine if there's a difference between what you show and what action actually takes place. At a gas station, you cannot charge someone 9/10 of a penny. It's going to round up to the next penny. So this is a gimmick that is already well established, essentially. Yeah. The reason that we need pennies in the United States is for tax, but in Dash Nation, we don't need pennies. If you want to charge me whatever it is in dollars, well, it doesn't matter because it's going to be a random number. And it doesn't matter because between the time that you make the request and the time that I pay you, all of those little fractional pieces, they they're changing literally from millisecond to millisecond. How much Dash is worth beyond the first, basically beyond the first 2 decimal places, is changing between milliseconds. So I cannot pay you a specific amount in another currency. I cannot denominate Dash to US dollars and pay you in any meaningful way. Down at the level of pennies or sub pennies. That the best I can do is, a dime. A dime is stable enough that between the time you request it and the time I pay you, it's likely to stay the same. But beyond that, it's noise. There's no signal in the value. And then the other thing is rebranding. It's not just a rebranding, it's a refocus. It's focusing on the security aspects. But I think that's number 1 and number 2. Dash Nation rebranding. I think that needs to be something that we say, but not something that we publish. I think that people that are part of Dash Nation, we should recognize Dash Nation. But that's not something that should go on the website. That's not something that should be public. That should be a inside joke, as it were. Because that type of branding, declaring a virtual space a nation, that could be misinterpreted, that could be taken out of context, that could be used in a malicious manner. So I don't think that we should actually put that on the website or anything. You can't think in USD though. You have to think in Dash. Good luck with that. There has to be an economy where there's an import, there's an export, is what I'm going to say. I was going to say import and export, but it's just export. There has to be an export that is an export in Dash. That's the only way to think in Dash. Since Dash has no exports, you can't think in Dash. Because there's nothing that gets exported out of Dash that I would need to purchase Dash in order to get. But again, that's what this merchant tooling is about. That's what the hosting service that Dash Incubator is going to be offering is about. The domain service Dash Incubator is going to be offering is about. Is having services that are denominated in Dash. And there's something we talked about a couple of years ago that, if marketed correctly, and I think that it's going to take someone outside of Ryan and I and others in the Dash Incubator, I think we're going to need to reach out to some talent elsewhere. But if marketed correctly, we have an idea that we've floated a little bit, and also that has briefly gone through some of the masternode owner circles, if we executed on that idea with a good push on the branding, it could change the economics of Dash overnight. Um, but then that's kind of scary though, because even knowing that, I don't want to get caught up in accidental. Uh, I do something to create an export, and in doing so, oof, I guess we'd have to make sure that we talk about it before we do it, because I don't want to be part of any accidental market manipulation. Yeah. Reach out to Joel. Yeah, when the time gets there. Yeah. Well, will when we are capable. So you find something where you round the cost down to zero, or you can absorb the cost as part of. So let's say that we have a proposal for a thing, and part of the proposal is that essentially we want to be able to denominate it in Dash. So, and this again, a little bit maybe tricky, but we basically, somebody else had mentioned a similar idea, but we basically make the proposal in such a way that we have excess funding, so that if the price of Dash has a fluctuation that can't withstand the round down to zero economics. So I'm talking about SaaS products, typically where you round down to zero because your per unit costs are so low. Your per web request, your per account per month costs, it rounds down to zero when you amortize it. You can't specifically say how much any one customer costs you because it costs you so little. So when you create those kinds of things, there still is some cost on the back end, right? You still have to pay some electricity, you still have to pay some bandwidth, whatever. But when you if you have a few hundred or a few thousand customers, you can't estimate the cost of an individual customer because the cost becomes so low. So when you have a product like that, you can denominate the product in Dash. And because Dash can be spent in a meaningful way, you can spend 10 cents worth of Dash, you can spend a milla Dash, and that can be meaningful because that could be 10 times what your cost is as a user per month. So if everybody puts in something that they think is pretty much meaningless, that does no skin off their back, it feels effortless to transact because you don't have the credit card fee and you don't have, you're just Dash for Dash. Once you create that economic loop, because the trouble is when you want to exchange and the dollars or whatever. But once you've created a loop where I was paid in Dash, I paid something else in Dash, and then I did something where I got paid in Dash as part of that loop, then you have an economy. Then so we have to have an export. We have to have something that is better, that is 10 times better, not just twice as good, but 10 times better than what people are getting elsewhere in some metric, which is generally not going to be high performance. It's generally going to be, you do something crappier, but in a way that's better for a group of people, where you 10x some value, and it's worth it to spend, say, $5 to get some Dash, to get more value out of the thing that's being exported that's available in Dash. And then, going back to the proposal idea, so the proposal would request more Dash and would be something like what Dash Incubator does, where the proposal is renewed month after month after month. But the understanding is that to keep things denominated in Dash, to continue that idea, that the proposal will cover some costs well, basically will cover losses so that things can be denominated in Dash. Now, that shouldn't be a problem except for when Dash loses 70% of its value in a year. Then that becomes a problem. That's how I feel with Dash Direct. Gotta crunch the numbers. I don't remember which part you were talking about there. Anyway, let me go ahead and I guess I should just copy this ID function over. Where was that at? And then, yeah, it's almost 1. I'm going to have to go. But I'll see if I don't know if I'm going to have time to get back on tomorrow. There's another project that I have to work on tomorrow. Well, have to. I mean, I'm a grown adult. I can do what I want, but you know what I'm saying. There's something that's that is important. But I would really like to make more progress on this. I think, yeah, I think I do want it to go this way. I think I want to do wallet to X key. And this is one that drives me nuts, but I have to capitalize both the X and the K. It just, because if you only capitalize the X, it looks like 2 by key. So I've been capitalizing both of them, and I feel a little dirty about it, but I just so there's phrase to seed. It takes phrase and possibly assault. There's seed to wallet. All right. There's wallet to X key. I guess that's all right. Yeah. So this would be dash phrase dot to seed phrase salt. Put some dash keys in here. Dash keys is where most utility stuff is, because you're going to end up needing it anyway. And then we're going to need dash HD. Now these are useless abstractions, but I just want to put them in here as a kind of a, it's more of a documentation bit. So you can see things atomically. Let me go double check on that from seed there. Dash HD. Yeah. Feature. Add to ID. As per. I'm going to go find that dip again. Yeah, I think that I'm going to go with that idea. Seems right. So another thing is you really do have to implement this stuff. You can't just theorize about it and come up with cool ideas. You have to implement it. And then you have to build an application around it. And as you're building an application, you find out, oh, this really shouldn't be this way. It should be that way. You know, you find these little ergonomic issues or whatever. You can't specs don't drive code. Products drive specs. Otherwise, it's like the difference between, well, all right, let me get back to this again. Oh, whoops. I'll check those comments in just a second. Oh, whoops. Right, so I think I'm gonna bring that in here. Have a great night. Thanks again for making IT happen. Making it happen. Let's see, capital IT. All right, Max, have a good one. And we're fast approaching one. I'm gonna have to get up probably around 8 or 8:30. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Are you still not asleep yet? Nah, I would. Nah, can't do it these days. You know, it's just there's too much goodness going on. Subtle. What, the letter L? Indeed. Hold on. Did you see that typo? Subtle. Let me go fix some typos. Seed bytes. All right, dash phrase to ID bytes. Okay. Dash hd dot utils dot bytes to base 64 URL equals. Actually, I don't think we need the async on this. Hope we don't. Okay. Did I accidentally close out the thing I was... Did I click on the wrong button here? I think I may have. We have a... I'm going to try opening that back up again because I think I was in dash checkout. All right, there we go. And this is somewhat the beginning of the, I guess, Dash Wallet V2 Jojo and I are kind of working on, where V2, it never hit V1, but it'll get there now. This is just re-exporting a few things. Okay. I do need to... Okay, 2 ID bytes. base 32. Dash keys dot utils dot bytes to hex. Okay, I'm just gonna get this to print out and then I'm gonna call it. This is actually pretty similar to what we just did, but two, three, four. Okay, where was my derived path function for dash HD? All right, so, oh, did I get that wrong? So xpub key. This actually be an xpriv key. I guess it's util, not utils. Do I seriously not have utils for this? Meh. I just didn't expose the utils, huh? That's interesting. All right. All right. So first off, let me go update this. Okay. So this is good. Okay. Now I'm going to say goodnight. See here. Not so bueno. All right, that looks like a seed that I'm familiar with. Let's see. Wallet ID. All right, I'm going to give Jojo. No, that's not what I wanted actually. Where did I dash checkout? Go back over here. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I gotta go. We will get to the real bit where we actually start swapping things out here pretty soon. But I think we'll start at the top here. We're gonna swap all this out. I'm not sure whether we're gonna go root HD key or how we're gonna do it. I think I like the idea of using the wallet phrase. I gotta pull in JoJo's encryption stuff here, probably. Well, we're not really gonna do a bunch of managing wallets. We're gonna be doing managing payments, but we're not gonna be sending payments. So, well, yeah, I guess we'll need to use the encryption stuff anyway. Or we won't. Because we can just kind of assume that this environment variable uses that anyway. Okay. So there's the XPub key, which is kind of a weird name. We're not going to have to worry about all this stuff to do. This will be per customer. Just throw some to-dos in here. We don't really need to, well, I guess we will do the derived child, but kind of, sort of. Okay, derive address. We will have that. Oh. Okay. XPriv. Yeah, we're gonna have to have some way to get the wallet XPriv. And then this is going to be XPub string as opposed to XPub key, which the other one, naming XPub key, was kind of probably not the right thing to do. All right, and then the pair. So we're going to want to get several pay addresses. Use the first one there. And that's about all we got at that point. But then we're going to be updating I think lib table token. Is this going to be updated? So this is all about pay adder stuff. And that we're not going to be doing getting the token by pay address, I don't think. So the table adder is what's this stuff's going to have to get updated to the new tables that we added. So this will have to be pairwise with the customer. So we might need to change the pay adder to be nullable in our database schema. And this one, we're going to be inserting into the payment cache. And this one, what ID is that supposed to represent? So I might have to go into, this might go into coin cache stuff. Not really sure. And then the token's going to have to be rethought because we're going to have the token map to, we're probably going to need an org, an account, tokens, and yeah, we got a little bit to go. So here's some to-dos. So good things accomplished. And yeah, so still got 2 things to do that I want to get done before Monday. Another dip with the URL stuff, but I need to get this further along first. So get this and then the dip. All right. With that said, I'm out. I'm excited about where this is going. Looking forward to it. Adios.